guys, welcome back to Advanced Bass Fishing, and appreciate you guys swinging by the channel today. And we're going to be talking about one of the most popular and oldest lure colors of all time, and that is a blackback chartreuse lure. That could be a crankbait, it can be a topwater lure, it could even be a jerkbait. But guys, this color pattern, blackback chartreuse, has been around, for 45 years at least, and it has withstood the test of time. And I'm going to explain to you guys a little bit why it works and the premium ideal conditions to throw the blackback chartreuse. So we're going to dig into that in today's video here. Also, guys, before we get started, just a couple quick things here. Quick reminder, anybody interested in booking a private one-on-one on the water lesson with me, just go to my Facebook page, Intuitive Angling with Randy Blaukat. Shoot me a private message there. And guys, also, I know you've been hearing me talk about it, but I can't reiterate how much I love this new Cast King reel. I've been used in the tournament last week or yesterday to win it. Cast King, this is their new model. This is the Cast King ALTI bait cast reel, the world's first true titanium spool, super light, smooth as butter, halo vortex braking system. You can't hardly backlash it. I'll put this reel in my I'll put the Cast King link in the description of this video if you guys would like to order one. And if you use that link and you use my promo code RandyB, you get an additional discount on the reel. So appreciate that if you're interested in reels right now. Okay, guys, I've been using this color right here forever. The first color pattern that really came out in that was the old Bagley Balsa B's back in the 1970s. There may have been like the original hand-carved Big O's, but I can't remember. But the first that I saw it was the Bagley Balsa B series, which I think they came out sort of like in the mid-70s when they came out. And it's been a mainstay forever. Now, first of all, I gotta say, it's like a blackback chartreuse lure for me is extremely situational. It's like any other color out there. There's gonna be situations that it works really good in and sometimes not so much. So throughout my course of my fishing over the past 50 years, I've pretty much isolated it down when black and chartreuse works really good. First thing I'll say about it, guys, is blackback chartreuse is a dirty water color 95% of the time. The other 5% of the time that a blackback chartreuse works good is in extremely clear water, like water visibility over 6 or 7 foot, as a topwater lure and a jerkbait color for smallmouth bass, sometimes spotted bass. But there's this paradox. It's either water visibility of like less than a foot, specifically around 6 inches of visibility, about like that, or extremely clear water. So let's talk just briefly about the clear water, then I'll get into the dirty water deal. If you're fishing a lake that has a lot of smallmouth bass in it, especially like the Great Lake areas, all those big famous northern smallmouth fisheries, blackback chartreuse is great in clear water for smallmouth, any conditions that you have. There's a little bit of a window also, like for example here in my part of the country at Table Rock, if you get a day where it's not much wind at all and it's, water temperatures are over 65 or 70 and it's cloudy or rainy, then in that clear water, blackback chartreuse topwater can work good. But what I really want to dig in today is specifically the dirtier water color. It's not just as simple as saying, okay, you got to have dirty water before this thing to work, and then you pick up a blackback chartreuse. Here are some criteria that makes a big difference for fishing this color. Number one is blackback chartreuse is a very aggressive color. It's very bright, it's very loud. It doesn't look like anything in nature, but I think personally that the chartreuse blackback is it's sort of like, it resembles a bluegill or some type of a perch, because pumpkin seeds and bluegills, they have some, yellow in them and some orange. And in that dirty water, when the thing's moving fast through the water, they don't get a good look at it. I think maybe they get a glimpse a little bit of that chartreuse and they think it's a perch and they get it. That's sort of my theory with that. So when you're talking about the specific situations that it works in dirty waters, number one is blackback chartreuse works the best on bass that do not get a lot of fishing pressure, that are aggressive and hungry. That's the premium time for it. So if you've got a heavily fished body of water, just that gets pounded all the time, you might be able to catch some fish on like a little small, blackback chartreuse crankbait in a heavy fish lake if it's really, really dirty. But most of the time it works better on those lakes that get just a moderate to light fishing pressure. Also, it is a color for aggressive fish. So one of the things that will help you with the blackback chartreuse lure is to fish the conditions when the fish are aggressive. So therefore, the things that make fish aggressive and actively chase a bait, like a big aggressive reaction bait, like a black chartreuse, is number one is a southerly airflow, southerly or southwest, which normally is a prefrontal condition. Number two is a stable or a falling barometric pressure, which indicates the front's on the way. Number three is something where you got a pretty moderate airflow, like wind speed. You want to winds of 10 to 20 miles an hour. It's a really good color if the wind's blowing. And the fourth factor, or two more, the fourth factor would be low light conditions, like early in the morning, late in the evening, shady banks, or cloudy days. And then finally, it's going to be off-color, dirtier water. I really like, for blackback chartreuse, I want my water visibility to be between like 4 to 8 inches. You know, something from about like that to maybe about like that. That's going to be my window. Now, I've caught them in a little bit cleaner water, say for example, a foot of water, something like a foot of clarity if it's like low light and cloudy. And if it's bright, sunny out, I have caught them in really dirty water, like just an inch or two of visibility. Almost when you just put the bait under the water, it disappears, it's so dirty. So that's gonna be the condition with that. Another thing with the blackback chartreuse is your speed of retrieve has a lot to do with it, and that's directly related to your water clarity and your water temperature. If you have water clarity that is dirty and hot, like water visibility over, you know, upper 70s to in the 80s, you definitely want to use a fast stop and go retrieve. You do not want them to get a good look at that bait in those conditions. But if you have a situation where you've got dirty water, say the water visibility is about 5 or 6 inches, and the water temperatures are cooler, say like they're in the pre-spawn in the 50s, that's when you need to slow it down a little bit and use just like a slow medium type of retrieve. So that's a pretty big factor there. But I will say one thing. This is one of the things to remember about blackback chartreuse, guys. Black and chartreuse in general, not just your blackback chartreuse crankbaits and stuff. It could be blackback chartreuse jig. It could be a black worm with a chartreuse tail. That's the number one color to catch big fish on. Big fish react to black and chartreuse better than any other color. They may not get as many bites on it. You may get, a fraction of the bites on blackback chartreuse that you will like a shad pattern, but it always produces the bigger, more aggressive fish. So anyway, guys, it's worth having some in your box to definitely try them on. I'll have my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of this video if you guys want to order some blackback chartreuses. Using that link's a good way to support the Advanced Bass Fishing channel here. So really appreciate it. Hope you guys are well.